Hi, this is Ed Neumeister, and I'd like to invite you to join me in a practice session, a creative practice session. Creative practicing, practice creatively. I'm using trombone as my demonstration instrument because that's the instrument I play. I think most, if not all, of the subjects that we will be discussing can be applied to almost any wind instrument for sure, and in many regards, any instrument, and in just anything we do in life. So some of the discussion will be concerning focus and keeping our attention on the project of the moment, but we'll discuss it through the topic of practicing a musical instrument. There's also another term that can describe what we do, and that's training. We do a certain amount of training. And I'll be talking about some training, but what I'm mostly talking about is the training of our musical abilities and using music to develop the technique, using music and improvisation to develop our technique. There will be certain exercises discussed and demonstrated, but the primary topic and the most important topic to remember throughout is music. With that said, the first thing that I recommend before practicing is putting your instrument down and getting away from the instrument for a minute and doing what I call a breathing and posture meditation. What this is exactly is, if you're standing, to stand with your feet parallel and shoulder width apart. We should be standing tall with our vertebrae as straight and as tall as possible, shoulders relaxed, and the buttocks tucked in slightly, which also firms up our stomach a little bit. The knees can be not locked, so slightly bent or unlocked. With the center of gravity about a finger's length below the navel, 3 inches below the navel, and inside, of course, our body is the center of gravity. So to be aware of our center of gravity and bring ourselves down into the connection with the earth. 50% left foot, 50% right foot. More or less still in the center, and we can do like a pendulum and sort of circle around and find that center. We'll be leaning slightly forward, so the weight is more on the ball of the foot than as the ankle. Otherwise, you don't want to be like that, and you certainly don't want to be like this. And so leaning just slightly forward. Now this is a great posture to begin your studies. And so the first thing we're doing is actually studying our posture, studying and observing. So first working on correcting any problems that we've developed as we grow older. If you want to see somebody with great posture, look at a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old with perfect posture. And then as we get older, somehow our posture deteriorates, or it can. But if you just start paying attention to it when you're walking down the street, to stand tall, not military tall, and then that allows the rest of the body to function properly. And in this case, the functioning of breathing in order to play a musical instrument. I recommend that one stands this way or sits with good posture. Most often, if you're a trombone player or a brass player, most of your work, most of your performing is sitting down. So it's a good idea to do most of your practicing sitting down. But you can do some standing up and should do some standing up and working on your posture sitting and standing. It's more or less the same thing. We want the vertebrae to be straight and to be as if we were hanging from a string here, the shoulders relaxed. Feet firmly planted in front of you, shoulder width and parallel. After standing or sitting this way with your eyes closed and just going inside your body and observing at first just the life in your body. Go to your toes, look around, feel the energy, the life, the electricity, the aliveness in your body. It's pretty amazing, actually, especially if you've never really taken the time to go observe and notice what's going on inside. It's amazing. As I talk about it now, I feel my fingers tingling, my feet tingling, because I'm just being aware of the energy and the life movement, the life activity, the activity of life in my whole body. Now we're talking about 2 or 3 minutes at this point, maybe 4 minutes, whatever. You should have a clock in front of you so that when you open your eyes, you see how long it's been. You can just close your eyes and go back into this meditation. Then, after several minutes of observing life and observing your posture, then you bring your observation, your focus to your breathing. Breathe through your nose normally and just take your focus, your attention into the breath inside your body and watch yourself breathe. Now you can take just basically normal breaths. Stay in this state of mind, stay in this state of awareness for a minimum of 12 minutes total. More is better. And it's amazing how relaxed you feel after you've done this meditation and ready, really ready to play music. When you find the chatter coming in the mind, the thoughts about yesterday, last week, tomorrow, next week, next month, what you have to do later today, these thoughts, which are normally based in either the past or the future, when they come in, just acknowledge that your focus has drifted to the past or the future and bring your focus back into the present, which is inside our body, noticing the breath, focusing on the breath and posture. 12 minutes. If you are actually following this as a lesson right now, turn the machine off or put it on pause and do this meditation for 12 or so minutes. And then come join me. I'll wait for you. Okay, that's it. You're back. Did you do it? I hope so. How did it feel? You feel more relaxed, more focused? After 12 minutes of breathing normally and observing your breath, now we can start to expand the breath and start to actually train, do some training. And this is breath training. What we're looking for is a full, relaxed breath without tension, without pain, but full, completely full as we can, maximum capacity so that we are supported. We can support the music, support the air through the horn. So it all begins with the breath, actually in life and in music, and ends with the breath. So we're standing with the posture, good posture, shoulders relaxed, feet parallel, centered, knees unlocked. And start to observe the breath. The breath, as described by the great tuba player from the Chicago Symphony, his name is Arnold Jacobs. And I had the pleasure of studying with some of his students, Mitchell Ross in San Francisco and Vince Pincerella in New York. And with Vince, who's a trumpet player, the second trumpet player in the New York Philharmonic, we worked only on breath. The whole lesson was breath. I don't think we played a note. My experience is coming from that, is coming from the Arnold Jacobs school, but also I've studied Taoism, Tai Chi and Qigong breathing, and yoga breath as well. My study combined, and now what I'm presenting to you is my version of all this stuff that I've been studying. I think they're all complementary, actually, and so it's just different ways of approaching the same thing. What we want to approach is a full breath so that we can support ourselves completely. Posture, and then exhale a little bit more firmly, like you're wringing out the laundry, the water of the laundry, and then inhale through the nose first, slowly. Watch the air come in as heavy, like as if it was liquid, and fill up the bottom, and then fill up your middle, and then fill up the top, which is the chest coming up. and all the way around like a balloon. And also what happens is we can bend forward just slightly so that it allows our back as well as our front to expand. So we can really expand 360 degrees. In this case, I'm inhaling through my nose, exhaling through my mouth. I will be inhaling through my mouth in a minute. One more through the nose. Why don't you join me? Go to your posture, sitting or standing. Exhale completely and inhale 1, 2, 3 through the nose. Try to expand all the way up. Let the chest come up at the end of the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Now the feeling we have when we're filled with air, and here you can work on expanding. If you feel tension, if you feel pain, then stop and back up. This should all be done in a relaxed manner. Relaxed, but full. Okay, one more time. Through the nose, exhale, inhale. Okay, how did that feel? You cool? Now, we'll do the same thing with the breath. This time I'll face straight ahead, and we'll do the same thing through the mouth. Now, when we breathe through the mouth, one of the important aspects of this breath is the sound of the inhalation. And we're training ourselves to make a big, full breath through the mouth without any resistance or tension in our throat, our tongue, our mouth. That has a sound. It's almost the sound of nothing, but it's not really nothing, but it's as nothing as possible. Because if you hear something, then it may be some restriction or tension somewhere in the breath. So here, I'll just demonstrate, and I'll do the best I can. I've been working on this for 20 years, and I'm still working on it. 25 years, I don't know. It's a life study. And breath, it's just such an amazing thing that, yeah, it is a life study. I keep learning more and more and more about it, discovering more things about it. The more it's like any subject, I guess. Okay, through the mouth this time. Let's just listen once to the sound of the inhalation. You can watch. You can watch too if you want. Again. 1, 2, 3. All around. Okay, try it. Put the machine on pause if you want to try it a few times. Okay, that's it. You're back. Did you do it? I hope so. How did it feel? You feel more relaxed, more focused? This is what I call the breath. And this is the breath that we need to train ourselves. This is the training part. We need to train ourselves to take the breath every time we breathe when we're playing our instrument. Before, in the middle, every time we breathe, we take the breath. And we stay full, we stay supported. Again, this is one of the most important aspects of playing a wind instrument, and especially the trombone. And the trumpet as well, tuba. We should spend some time every day doing this. Simple breathing, expanding, observing, working on the breath.